Here's everything Trump did this week. He used the government shutdown as an excuse to fire thousands of federal workers, including 1,400 employees from the Treasury Department, 1,100 workers from HHS, almost 500 from education, 450 from housing and urban development, almost 200 from energy, and almost 200 from the Department of Homeland Security. He announced additional 100% tariffs on China, launching us into another trade war and crashing the stock market for like the 5th time. Supposedly got Israel and Hamas to sign off on a peace deal. The first hostage exchange is scheduled for Monday, but we have no idea if it's actually going to happen or not. Allowed Qatar to build a military base on American soil. Remember, this is after they bribed him with a new private jet back in May. Struck a 5th Venezuelan boat, killing 4 more people. Once again, giving no evidence that it was carrying drugs or anything illegal. Tried to send 200 California National Guard troops to Oregon. This was to get around a judge's block on sending Oregon National Guard troops to Portland, but a judge also blocked this one too. Actually sent 500 National Guard troops to Chicago, 300 from the Texas National Guard and 200 from the Illinois National Guard. Announced a date for his White House UFC fight, which he's gonna have to tear up the White House South Lawn to host. Asked social media influencers to give him the names of Antifa agents for him to go out and find, because those are obviously the most reputable sources for information. He refused to guarantee back pay for federal workers during the shutdown, called for Democratic leaders in Illinois to be jailed, suggested that NATO should kick Spain out, sorry Spain, indicted another political enemy for mortgage fraud, threatened to put sanctions on anyone who votes for a UN climate resolution, imposed 25% tariffs on large trucks, which are very important for the economy, and finally lost the Nobel Peace Prize after campaigning extremely hard for it. And of course, he just called the committee woke and liberal as a response. There were only 2 court verdicts for Trump this week. First, the judge blocked him from sending any National Guard troops to Portland, Oregon, and a judge blocked him from sending the National Guard to Illinois for now. In other news, Japan is set to elect its first female prime minister, Sanae Takaichi. A South Carolina judge's house burnt down after receiving death threats the week prior. However, the police say there's no evidence of it being intentional yet. And finally, MIT rejected Trump's funding proposal that would make universities adopt certain policies. Now for our trackers, inflation is at 2.9% and rising. Unemployment is at 4.3% and steady. Eggs are at $3.59 and steady. Gas is at $3.30 and steady. And Trump has so far spent $91 million golfing in his term. Just to note, a lot of these stats will not be updated while the government is shut down because the Bureau of Labor Statistics can't release them. So it may be a little bit before we start to see these numbers move again. Also, make sure to check out the long form version of this. I explain everything way more in depth. Second week of this is up on YouTube now. Link is in my bio.